You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now, TSPN News with Tom Slivick. Comprehensive news because in today's world, you need more than just sound bites. TSPN, streaming on the World Wide Web, and now on demand at TSPNTV.com. Hello, Amador County, and welcome to today's news. I'm Tom Slivick, and thanks for watching TSPN. Let's take a look at our headlines. Raley's employees take a contract impasse before a federal mediator Friday, June 8th, a few days after employees voted to support a strike. Amador Supervisors expected to return to hotel and motel tax issue next week. 2 pioneer men arrested for possessing a train stolen from Sierra Pacific Industries. And Jackson Band of Miwuk Park and Recreation Project report. Volcano perseveres, and the next work site is yet to be determined. Pine Grove Conservation Camp, Crew 4 joins the Italian picnic parade. And the first Len Jagoda Memorial dinner raised $9,000 for lung cancer research. In the second half of the news, I'll be speaking with Rich Farrington, the new District 3 Director of the Amador Water Agency. So stay with us. I'll be right back after this break. You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN. Hi everyone and welcome back. Regional union workers of Raley's Groceries have voted to support a strike and will go into bargaining Friday, June 8th with management and a federal mediator. The northern region of Raley's includes 750 union employees represented by the United Food and Commercial Workers Local 8, including employees in Jackson. Raley's and workers reached an impasse in March and the sides have not spoken since. And Raley's has requested a federal mediator, according to Local 8. An extension to Raley's employees' contract expired Wednesday, June 6th. John Segali, spokesman for Raley's Northern Region, said Thursday the Jackson Store's employees are members of the Local 8 United Food and Commercial Workers Union, and they had the opportunity to vote this week on the strike issue. He was not sure whether or not they voted. He said 81 members work at the Jackson Raley's, including 75 who are union members. Segali said, "We're meeting tomorrow morning, Friday, June 8th, with the federal mediator. Both sides will meet, and this is the only negotiating session planned at this point." Employee contracts are on a day-to-day extension. Segali said the contracts will likely be extended through the end of the month. During the extension, employees receive full benefits and wages. Raley's Northern California and Nevada has 7,750 union employees and 3,125 non-union employees. Segali said as a company, it has a total of 13,000 employees, including management, warehousemen, truckers, pharmacy, and meat cutters. Segali said Raley's negotiators will be working toward a peaceful resolution, and he thought it was clear employees do not want to strike. The management does not want to strike, and the customers do not want to strike, but we must reduce our operating expenses to become more competitive. He said he's familiar with Jackson facing competition from new non-union retailers, and Segali said in Northern California, Raley's territory, they have had more than 200 non-union stores open since 2007 when their last contract was agreed to. Segali said the northern region includes California and northern Nevada, from the coast to northern Nevada, and from the Oregon border to Madera County. In the region, he said 209 non-union retail outlets have opened since 2007 in comparison to Raley's, who operates 131 stores in the region, including 115 in California and 16 in Nevada. Jacques Laval, president of United Food Workers and Commercial Workers Local 8, released a statement saying Raley's is trying to spin results of the strike vote. He said 8 out of 10 union members working at Raley's and Nob Hill voted in an overwhelming turnout to support the union, calling a strike if necessary. The company has said 30% of workers voted no on the strike. Laval said, once again, they're posturing instead of bargaining. Laval said, we remain confident cooler heads can still prevail. He said the contract is on a day-to-day extension requiring 3 days advance notice by either party to cancel, and a bargaining session is set for Friday, June 8th with the federal mediator. Amador County Supervisors next week will revisit a request by local business leaders to increase the hotel and motel tax in the county. At their May 22nd meeting, supervisors discussed a request by the Amador Business Council to raise the transit occupancy tax from 6 to 10% and use the funds from the extra 4% to promote the county through the Amador Council of Tourism. County Counsel Greg Gillette sought direction from supervisors on wording for a potential ballot measure and was concerned about the complexity and the wording of the issues. Jennifer McGee of the Council's office said community groups support the measure and hopefully will get together and put a support statement on the ballot at a maximum of 300 words. Opposition groups have the same option, and a county statement on the ballot can be 500 words. The measure itself would be limited to about 75 words, and Amador Business Council Executive Director Jim Conklin said business groups support bringing camping and other lodging into the TOT tax in one fell swoop, and the Business Council has already raised $1,000 to do outreach to let people know who will be affected and to educate people. Conklin sets a tax for tourists, and residents are not going to be paying this tax. McGee said stays longer than 30 days are exempt. Launching from TOT, Supervisor Richard Forrester said if camping is the kiss of death for this, they might want to reconsider removing it, and Conklin agreed. Supervisor Ted Novelli said he preferred a special tax in the measure, but he said he was speaking for himself. Forrester said business groups proposed the increase as a general tax. Amador Council of Tourism Executive Director Maureen Funk said the county transit occupancy tax at 6% is the lowest in the state, but if it was raised to 10%, it would still be among the lowest rates in the state. She said most measures typically include camping. Supervisor John Plaz has said if they charge TOT on tax or state, federal, and water district lands if they are operated by concessionaires. Gillette was not sure, and also not sure if any are run by concessionaires. Forrester said it was a very competitive market, and he suggested they might want to consider a TOT fee based on short-term visits or a fee based on lodging. Plaz said if they are not able to charge a TOT on state, federal, and utility campsites, then it's further giving private campsites another disadvantage. Plaz asked for an inventory of all the campsites and study to see if the county has the authority to impose this tax or not. And supervisors returned to the issue at Tuesday, June 12th's regular meeting. 2 Pioneer men were arrested recently for possession of a stolen railroad car that had been largely dismantled and sold for scrap metal. The Amador County Sheriff's Department announced the arrest of David Glenn Pearsons, 42, and Troy Allen Whistler, 42, both of Pioneer, who were charged with possession of stolen property and violation of probation. Both men were booked into the Amador County Jail and are being held without bail. Under Sheriff Jim Wagner released details of the investigation Wednesday. On May 31st, Sierra Pacific Industries contacted the Amador County Sheriff's Office to report that a large rail car, which is being used as a bridge, had been stolen from SPI property located off Fiddletown Road. The initial investigation by Amador County Sheriff's deputies determined the theft occurred in El Dorado County. And Wagner said on June 1st, an SPI employee called the Amador Sheriff's Office to report that the stolen railroad car had been found on a parcel of property in an area near Bootstrap Road in Amador County. Deputies responded and contacted 2 suspects associated with the stolen rail car. Wagner said the investigation determined that the 2 individuals had stolen the rail car and were dismantling it for sale as scrap metal. Approximately 2/3 of the rail car had already been dismantled and sold to a regional recycler. Only 3 sections, approximately 1/3 of the car, was left on the property. Deputies also located 3 large storage containers on the property, which were locked with stolen SPI padlocks. A search of the property conducted by Amador County Sheriff's Detective revealed an unreported stolen truck and several items stolen from the California Department of Transportation, the County of Amador, and the United States Postal Service. Adam Dalton of the Jackson Rancheria Band of Miwuk Indians gave his weekly report on the field and park restoration project Wednesday, saying that excitement perseveres in Volcano this week. Dalton said we're also personally assisting a fellow project partner, Sharon Lundgren, with a few renovations as she prepares for the reopening of the St. George Hotel. Dalton said Volcano is a project that continues to grow successfully thanks to volunteer efforts and donor contributions. Once renovations are complete within Volcano, the Amador County Park Restoration Crew will begin renovation on its 3rd project. which the exact location is yet to be determined. Dalton again asked people to join and help renovate park and recreation areas of communities. He said summer's approaching and it provides a perfect opportunity to engage with your children and learning the value of the community outreach. Contact the project at 209-223-8405. And 13 members of the Pine Grove Camp Crew 4 and their captain marched in the Italian Benevolent Society Parade Sunday, June 3rd in Sutter Creek. The parade drew dozens of float entries in the parade to kick off the final day of the 130th Italian Benevolent Society picnic. Lieutenant Wade Waylard released details of the parade for the conservation camp members. Wade said since 1882, the Italian Benevolent Society of Amador County has hosted an Italian picnic and parade on the first Sunday in June in Sutter Creek. Pine Grove Camp has been a participant in the parade for a number of years, and this year was no exception. He said Amador El Dorado Fire Division Chief Brian Estes asked Crew 4 Captain Martin King to represent the camp in the parade. Youth Correctional Counselor Tom Meanley, a 15-year camp McManley, a 15 veteran of Sutter Creek resident, accompanied Captain King and drove the emergency crew vehicle during the parade and served as the event photographer. The crowd was enthusiastic and greeted Crew 4 with cheers and waves. He said the only disappointment expressed by the firefighters was that the parade route was too short. Pine Grove Youth Conservation Camp Superintendent Mike Roots released photos of Crew 4's participation photos taken by Youth Correctional Counselor Tom Meanley. Family and friends of Len Jagoda marked an anniversary of his passing and raised $9,090 to the first Len Jagoda Memorial fundraiser. Lori Jagoda was the first fundraising event in Amador County for lung cancer research and awareness. A check was sent to Longevity. The foundation is the largest private financial supporter of lung cancer research in the United States and granted $2 million to researchers in 2011. The organization works with top experts to identify and fund promising and innovative research into early detection and targeted treatment of lung cancer. The Longevity organization helps assure patients the same promise that is now enjoyed by breast, prostate, colorectal, and other cancers. Earlier detection, more effective treatment options bring a higher quality of life, and hundreds of thousands of lives are saved. Organizational funds scientific research with the express purpose of finding a better way to diagnose and treat lung cancers and prevent their reoccurrence. Stay with us. When I return, I'll have Rich Farrington. He's the new District 3 Amador Water Agency Director right here on TSPN. You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.